Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of LF & Co. Cooking. I'm super excited to come to you tonight because we are going to be making creamy beef and shells for dinner. So I'm going to be featuring a bunch of Tupperware products and showing you this delicious recipe. I have made it once before and my family loved it, so I hope yours will too. So we're going to start off with about a pound of ground beef or ground turkey, or I usually use a mix of both, quite honestly. And I have that in our stack cooker. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and now see our stack cooker, I have this one in the drain. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but this is the part that will drain down into the second bowl that I have here, because that's where I want all of the fat and the icky stuff that comes whenever you brown ground beef. All right, so we usually do about 6 minutes per pound. So I'm going to start off at 6 minutes and then I'm going to stir it up in the microwave and see how we're looking. Make sure we don't have any pink spots left on in there. So we're going to get that baby started on off here. Okay, now next we have an onion, and this onion I have already, the recipe calls for half of a medium onion, and I had a small onion on hand. So I've just halved this small onion and I'm going to put it in our Power Chef. So I'm going to turn the camera on around here so that you guys can check out our Power Chef. So, got the Power Chef here. I'm going to get the top on, and now this comes with I like to call this the lawnmower puller because it looks just like the lawnmower starter on the old school lawnmowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a couple of quick pulls. Look how quickly that pulverized this onion, right? So quick. All right, so that each one of those pulls is equal to 100 hand chops. Fun fact. Isn't that awesome? Look at this. And what I love is that, look at that. That's awesome, right? You don't have to worry then about getting all teary-eyed because you're sitting here hand chopping your onions. So you just couple pulls on the Power Chef and you're all set, and all the fumes stay right on in there. So with this, I'm going to turn on my stovetop here. Let me move everything over so I don't melt anything. Don't want to do that. Okay. So I have our Tupperware Chef Series pot that we're going to be using this evening. And what I like is that you could, if you didn't want to use the stack cooker, I love the stack cooker because I don't have to then worry about draining all of that fat and grease from it. I can drain that off, I can toss it in the dishwasher, and I'm good to go. You can cook everything in one pot, which I do love, but I'm not going to. And that's really just for being able to show you different products, but it's going to be faster for me anywho. Then I don't have to worry about draining it from the pot and then cooking it somewhere else. I don't want to have to worry about that, okay? So we are going to turn this baby on to medium, and I'm going to put our onion right on down inside here. So what I love about our saucy silicone spatula, here, let me turn this camera so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I love our saucy silicone spatula right here because this end, that pointed corner, is going to be great for getting down inside of here and scooping around the sides so I don't miss any of those onion pieces. Okay, so we're going to clear this on out. Look at that. There we go. So, I'm going to let our onion start to caramelize. I have 2 cloves of minced garlic. Now, if you're like me and you use a ton of garlic, I just have a big minced jar of it, and so that's what I pulled it out of. So that's probably a little bit more than 2, but I really like garlic too. So put a couple cloves of minced garlic right on down in here. Okay, we've got some Italian seasoning. We need 1½ teaspoons of our Italian seasoning. So I've got our Italian seasoning in one of my spice shakers, and of course we're going to be using our measuring spoons. So we've got 1 teaspoon right on in here. That's going to go right on into the onions and garlic. So like I said, we're going to be looking for 1½. There we go. And then we need a teaspoon of paprika. So I do label all of my spices so I don't get anything confused. Don't want that to happen whenever you're cooking or baking something. So we've got 1/2 teaspoon. Oh, I'm sorry, this one needed 1 teaspoon. Look at the recipe, Lindsay. We need 1 teaspoon of paprika. Here we go. All right. Now, we're going to just let all of this cook right on up in here. Okay. Stir it. And our meat is going to be, there it goes. It was going to be done soon. So I'm going to let this cook for just a minute while I check on our ground beef. Okay. So let's take this on out. Oh, gosh, everything smells so good. I love it when everything smells good. All right, I want you guys to check out this stack cooker. So always lift away from you, because look at all of that steam that just came up. It's like you're getting a facial. You don't want to look directly at it. All right, so we are going to just chop this on up. Do you see? 6 minutes. Look at that. It might need maybe a minute or 2 more. I might do another minute just to make sure that our middle spots, yep, see, there we go. We got a little bit of pink. So we're going to do about another 1.5 to 2 minutes just to make sure that everything is fully cooked. I'm just breaking this on up a little bit. All right. Get those pink pieces to the outside so that they cook. And now, like I said, I'm just going to toss this back in the microwave for about another minute, 2 minutes probably, okay? Cooking times, remember, do all vary based on your microwave. So make sure that you're testing it out on a lower power or a lower time frame, just so that it's much easier to add another 30 seconds if it needs it, because you can't take it away. All right, so while we're waiting for that to cook, we have, I'm going to show you guys our onion mixture, which, oh, that Italian seasoning in it, oh, just smells so good. And let's face it, anytime that you really cook onion and garlic together, you can't go wrong, right? All right, so check this on out, guys. Yum, right? Oh, you guys coming over for dinner? Oh, I'm so excited, right? Okay, so we have, this is going to go ahead and continue to cook down. Actually, we're going to add a little bit of flour to that. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So we've got our tablespoon. And of course our flour is stored in our modular mate. Making sure that if we have ants come through this summer or anything like that, they don't get into our food. All right. There we go. We've got 2 tablespoons ready to go. Okay. And we're just going to let that cook on down. Still using our saucy silicone spatula because what? It's heat resistant up to 400 degrees. So you're able to use this on the stovetop to mix up your eggs in the morning. You're able to do it whenever you're cooking things like these onions here. All right. Let that cook here, stirring it every couple of seconds. But we want to take a look at our meat and see how that is looking. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. All right, let's pull this on out, and it should be done by now. Again, make sure you lift that cover away from you because look at all of that steam coming up. It is hot. Oh yes, here we go. See? Much, much better. No pink on in there. And what I'm going to do, fun little trick for you guys, is I'm going to take our Power Chef that we just mixed or cut up our onion in, correct? So we're going to take that and we're going to put our ground beef on down inside here. And you're thinking, why in the world do you need to put all that beef in there, Lindsay? Well, we're going to mix it on up so that you don't have any big chunks of ground beef. It's all going to be finely ground up, much easier bite-sized pieces. I have a 14-month-old. I want to make sure that he's not going to have too big of a piece that he can't swallow. So, especially whenever you're doing tacos or anything like that, this is fantastic to make sure you have that nice, nice ground beef, ground up texture going on, okay? So, we have, can't wait to show you guys this part. So, I'm going to unstack our stack cooker and show you, this is why I do it in the stack cooker. Look at all of that gunk that drained out of my ground beef, ground turkey mixture, right? Just for visualization purposes, we are going to show you, I'm going to measure this on out and show you how much actually drained out of there. Now, you know, whenever you're cooking it on the stovetop in your frying pan or something like that, you can't get all of that grease out, right? Oh, okay, so that's what the bottom looks like. Yuck. Okay. Ew. But check this out. I've got, can you see that? 1 1/4 cups of gunk and grease that have drained out of that. Isn't that amazing? That is so amazing. I love this product. Just to cook my ground beef in, it is well worth the money. Look at all of this. That means that I'm not eating all of that unhealthy stuff in there. Even if I buy a lesser cut of beef, if I get like an 85-15 or an 80-20, I can cook it in there and drain out all the icky stuff. How fantastic is that? You need that. All right, so you ready to see the Power Chef in action again? It's pretty cool, right? So, check this on out. Actually, before we get going on that, I want to add in our, dun, 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 what is next? Our 2 cups of beef broth. So we have our 1 cup measuring spoon. So I'm going to do 2 cups right on in here. So there's 1, and so this can start simmering while we're chopping beef, right? There's 2. Okay. Put this on off to the side. We'll use that for our next fun recipe. So I'm going to just stir this around. Oh, yum. Let that flour start to really thicken it on up, right? Making a little bit of a roux here. Okay. So, you guys see our Power Chef okay? There we go. I want to make sure you can see all of this in action. So because this is so full, I want to start off with short little strokes so I don't jam it up, okay? So short little pulls. You can still see it still working there. If it ever gets stuck on you a little bit, just give it a shake. Might have gotten a big piece of meat stuck in between a blade. There we go. My son loves to watch me do this. He gets so excited. It's like it mesmerizes him. He sees it all spinning around in there. It's so fun. I can't wait till he's old enough and I can give him the little mini one to chop up his own stuff in, right? Get those kids in the kitchen early and show them how to cook. They can always help. It's a great experience. I used to love being in the kitchen and helping my mom cook. All right. So, mix that on up. I think we've got pretty much all the pieces. Looks pretty good to me. Check that out. You see how much finer it is? Oh, we got a couple of big pieces still on in there. But look at how much finer this has got it, so it's going to mix in that much easier, right? So we're going to set this aside. And we have our stuff over here sauteing. I want you to make sure that you can see that pretty good. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? You can see it start to get a little boil going on. Okay. Now we are going to make our shells. Like I said, this is called Beefy shells. This is our pasta maker. I've got about a pound, maybe half a pound or so. I poured in enough noodles that'll make dinner. It's probably about half a box right on in here, okay? So I'm going to fill this up. If you see right here at the end, the pasta comes up to about here, so I want to fill the water line to that wavy line there, okay? This is going to cook in the microwave for about 12 to 14 minutes. And what I love about this is I don't have to watch it. I don't have to sit here and stir it and make sure it doesn't boil over and figure out when it's going to be done. It comes out wonderful every time. So here we go. We've got the water on in here. You don't put a cover on this in the microwave. So no cover. This is all open. I'm going to put this baby in here for about 12 minutes. Now, if it comes out a little al dente or a little underdone, that's okay because you can still have it cook some more whenever you stir it into the sauce, right? All right, so now our pasta maker, this is the cover to it. It's not a seal. It doesn't seal on, but it is also going to act as a strainer. So It has all of the directions. You might not be able to see it because it's in the same color, but it has directions of how to use engraved right on the cover, so that if you forget or you throw away the paper or something like that, you forget what I told you in the video, this is still going to be with your product. So you have this end here. On the top it says Tupperware, but Tupperware is in the shape of an arrow. So the arrow end is the straining end. So you put this at the end of the pasta maker that has all the holes in it. You hold it up and it's going to shake all the water out. Super awesome. How cool is that? It's not going to boil over in my microwave. It's not going to make a mess and go everywhere. I'm not going to have all that starchy water that I have to scrub off of my stovetop. So we are going to go ahead and see how our pasta, our sauce over here is looking. All right, so we've got this coming on up to a boil, and we want to add in our tomato sauce. So I've got jarred tomato sauce here. This is a 24-ounce one. It calls for 15 ounces, so I am only going to use part of this, but we are going to dump that right on in. I am definitely an eyeball it type of cook, so I do enjoy the occasional just, yeah, that looks like enough. I still do measure a lot of things, but I would say the majority of things, such as that, I will definitely say, yeah, that looks about right. So we're going to stir that on up, and then we have some heavy cream that we're going to add to this, okay? I'm going to show you this here, guys, in just a second so you have an idea of what it looks like. Alright, so we're going to take that heavy cream. I've got 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream here, and I'm going to bring it on down so you can check it out. So we've got the heavy cream. That is going right on into our sauce, garlic, onion, and spice mixture, okay? See, I love having the 3/4 in our measuring cups, because that means I didn't have to dirty up a 1/2 and a 1/4 just to get my correct measurement. So we're going to stir this on up, have a nice pinky kind of colored sauce. We're going to add some cheese to this later. Woo! You guys are going to love making this for your family. You have to message me for the recipe and I'll send it over to you. Alright, so check this on out, guys. Yum! Doesn't it look delicious? I'm so excited to be able to show this to you guys tonight. Alright, so we've got this cooking. I'm going to go ahead and add the ground beef into it right now so that can get combining. So we've got our ground beef that we mixed on up. Dump that right on in here. Came out clean. Love when that happens. Okay. So we've got, the only thing left, we have to do a little bit of salt and pepper, just to taste. Add the noodles and some cheese. How easy was this? Oh my gosh. Literally start to finish, we're going to be done in like 1/2 hour. I love easy meals and easy recipes like that. This is what I want to bring to you guys for dinner options and fun, easy things that you can make for your family. So that's what we are all about here on LF & Co. Cooking. So I'm hoping you're enjoying this recipe. All right, give me just a second. We'll go check on these noodles, okay? All right, guys, we are back. So our pasta just beeped. So I wanted to take this on out and show you the finished product here before we dump it into our meat sauce. I think I need a bigger counter. All right, let's check this on out. Do you see? Look at this. That is pasta, perfectly done. So now what we're going to do is, remember I was talking about those holes that are at the bottom, or at the top, I guess I should say, of one of the ends of our pasta maker. We're going to put the cover that has the arrow going right down there, so it all lines right on up. I'm going to go on over here to my sink and drain the pasta on out. Make sure we shake it real good and get all that pasta water on out of here. Perfect. Okay, check that out, you guys. Perfect, little al dente looking. Let's take one of these and test them on out. Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect. So these are going straight in. Okay. Now, I want you to check out how amazing all of this is going to look together, right? Oh my goodness gracious. Yum! So excited. All right. If you can't tell, I really do enjoy cooking. I love being in the kitchen. So we're going to stir our pasta in to our meat and tomato sauce. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of pepper. Got our pepper on in our spice shaker. So just a little bit of pepper to taste on in here. Of course, if you're heavy on the pepper or heavy on the salt, you can always salt your individual bowls of this. And then I have a little bit of salt. So we're going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt. I don't like anything too salty. Right on in there as well. Set that off to the side, stir it up. Now I have an entire block of cheddar cheese that I shredded earlier in our master grater shredder. And oh, it was so easy. It literally took me like 15 seconds to shred an entire block of cheese. How fun is that, right? Now, I will share with you, I never use bagged cheese. I haven't in probably 3 years or so because of all the additives that are in there. They do add in a lot of things like tree pulp and stuff like that as an anti-clumping agent. So whenever you get your cheese, it still sprinkles and it's not like one clump together, something like that. But you can shred your own cheese. If you're going to do a lot of it ahead of time, maybe freeze it, or you need a bunch of it for the week that you're going to be using for recipes, add a little bit of cornstarch on in there and then toss it around. It's going to help with it clumping. It's not going to be anything big. So we're going to put the entire block in because I love cheese. Put the entire block right on in there. No cheese left behind. And we're going to stir it on up. Awesome. It's like a cross between Hamburger Helper and mac and cheese or something like that. Oh, this looks so good. Spaghetti and mac and cheese. That's what it's a cross between. Awesome. Now I am going to put this on a light simmer and I'm just going to let it kind of stay warm until my husband and son get home from work. So check this on out, all right? Does that not look delicious, you guys? So yummy. Ah! Awesome. Well, I thank you guys so much for coming along with me and cooking in my kitchen with LF & Co. And if you have seen any products today that you're just dying to get your hands on, please feel free to visit my website, lindsaypfeiffer.my.tupperware.com, or send me a message with any questions you have. Thanks so much. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.